Oh, and we're live. Hey, man, and it's Reggie Miller from downtown with the bucket. What's going on, man?
Hey, it
So,
didn't even say live.
it didn't say live?
Doesn't say it on my end. Does it say it on yours?
Yeah, well, yeah, live. I have the red bar that says live. We've been live for like 30 seconds now.
Huh. It doesn't. It didn't even show it on my end.
Really? Does it say that
Usually, usually it does.
does it say that you're live now? Do you see the red bar?
No. Let me do this.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I just had to refresh the screen.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I probably got stale a little bit, man.
Well, sometimes it does that in the beginning when it's counting down. Sometimes it'll start lagging, and if I close it and open it real quick, it catches up with itself or whatever.
I see. Yeah,
If
sometimes
that
when
makes sense.
yeah, that's what makes sense. That's what happens to me sometimes when I leave the studio on too long. It kind of freezes a little bit, gets stale.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But anyways, cheers, man. I'm I went with Tennessee honey today.
What the hell's that? Oh,
It's
for tea?
well, yeah, a little bit stronger than tea, Jack Daniels tea.
Oh, wow.
It tastes pretty good though.
How was that?
It's smooth. It tastes like honey with no burning sensation. It's pretty nice.
But it's Jack Daniels, you said?
It's Jack Daniels, yeah.
Oh,
Jack Daniels with honey.
it's probably bomb, probably garbage over here.
Maybe, but uh but it has like nice viscosity. But you have to drink it cold, otherwise it's gonna taste bad, dude.
Remember the stuff that used to make your throat burn when you would take a shot of it or whatever? It's like, ugh.
Oh, dude. Remember that is it still popular? I remember it used to be popular back in the day, that Bacardi 151.
Oh my god, I almost died off that.
Bro, that stuff was garbage, man.
I know, dude. I almost died off that stuff for real.
I almost got like seriously sick. Not died, but sick from that, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That it probably fucks a lot of people up now that I think about it.
Oh, I'm sure, bro. Dude,
Yeah, forget that.
that was gross.
It was gross. It wasn't even. It didn't even. It didn't even taste good. It just got you fucked up.
Yeah, it was like all I felt was like burning, and then like you were messed up after one time, man.
That's horrible.
Dude. And then I remember like at one time I was drinking Bacardi 151, and then like we switched to remember those Smirnoff ices? Remember that?
I do remember that.
Dude, those were very, very popular. Like the
They
cool off, but I got so drunk, man.
they kind of have made a comeback, but not like that. I would say it's like the hard seltzers now.
I heard about these hard seltzers. Have you ever tried any of them?
I think I had one or whatever. Like I could see why it's just like seltzer water with alcohol. You can barely taste the alcohol, but you taste like but you can taste the what is it? But you could taste the flavor of the sparkling or whatever the water. You know what I'm saying?
Well, isn't hard seltzer, isn't seltzer like a sparkling water basically?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Except they add
Yeah.
alcohol.
Yeah. What is the
But if you,
what is the what is the famous one? White Claw? Have you ever had White Claw?
I don't drink none of that shit. But
Yeah.
that a lot of people are drinking that stuff though, and you can see it more and more.
Well, you know what's kind of what you could do with White Claws is you can drink it basically, and it looks like you're drinking like a monster. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Or they have these things called Truly. Those are the new
Yeah.
ones.
Truly.
T
Truly
R
seltzer.
U L Y
Yeah.
or whatever. It's
Truly sel-
exactly like that.
Truly seltzer water. Yeah, it looks like a energy drink or something like that.
It's along the same lines as the White Claw, I would say. You know.
Yeah. Do they taste similar? I don't even know. We don't have White Claw or Truly over here. Not yet
No,
anyway.
no idea, dude. Don't drink that
Yeah.
stuff.
It seems
I just
yeah.
no. I was just gonna say I see people up here at the market just grabbing it more and more, and then it's not even like the younger people; it's like all ages. So then you're like, huh? Then you know what I mean? You start to see that's like kind of picking up some wave.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dude, do they still even make Smirnoff Ice like that?
I think they
Those,
do.
I remember it. We used to always buy them in those glass bottles, man. I remember
Yeah,
that.
I remember that too. But then it started becoming like a girl's drink. Remember?
I remember that. But then
They
that was
even
kind
made
of like,
this Smirnoff vodka.
yeah, well, vodka, that's different. But I remember that was like the good way to get girls though. Like if you were drinking Smirnoff Ice with the girls, they were like, it was like fun, kind of.
Well, yeah, because they like to drink. Oh, what do you want to get? It's like, oh, let's get that. And it's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And just went along with it, and you're like, okay, I'll just drink it.
It's like it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, when it was cold, it wasn't bad.
No, I
The
don't know. It wasn't bad. It was all right.
I like the original, and then I like the one with the green apple. That was pretty bomb.
That one was pretty good.
But dude, it got you fucked up because you're drinking vodka basically.
Remember like Natty Ice and stuff like that too, and Bushweiser or BUSCH, I think it was.
Bush,
Mm-hmm.
like Bush Light.
Yeah, you remember that shit?
No, I didn't. I didn't really fuck with that Bush.
Really?
Yeah, Bush. No, but it was more like Smirnoff Ice and Bacardi 151 all the time.
Holy smokes!
Yeah.
You weren't
Yeah,
playing
it was not.
around, huh?
Dude, man, it was those were some wild parties, bro. Dude,
Party
but
line time.
dude, go party line time, dude. Oh my god. Dude, I
That was
remember
classic.
that was classic, bro. That like you everybody got the text, and by Wednesday everybody knew what party you were going to on Friday and Saturday, bro.
That's too much, huh? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then you went to the parties, and then on Monday you sent the text to that party line, and you get the by Wednesday, dude. You're like, oh man, Friday night.
Dude, those guys made bank probably because I figured it out. That's what they did. They set up those party line parties, then would charge at the door, but then they probably set them up at different houses, huh? And then just like
Yep.
would watch over the party or whatever, and then let people in. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like security or whatever, almost.
Yeah. To be honest, I think those parties were like, what do you call it? Not corporate parties. I wouldn't say it like that, but like business parties. I think like you know what I mean. Like the guys had the service. The service was the party line. So like if you had a party, you would give a percentage of money to the party service. You know, they wouldn't do that shit for free.
Well, that shit started getting fucking watered down though, to where it's like you're going to like cholo parties and stuff. It's like I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I know. They were like there were some cool parties like in Glendora and stuff that were popping, bro. And then there was like ones like in I don't know. We were in West Covina one time, and these I don't. It was whack, bro. At the end, kind of.
Just kind of got watered down, I would say.
Yeah, I think those parties were sponsored, like you said. I think like they didn't. I don't know if they provided security or whatever, but they wanted to make sure that the party went fine, so that you know that party would be back on party line. You know what I mean?
Right, because no one's gonna go if you're fucking. I guess if people are getting in fights or it's turning into that shit all the time.
Right. And if the parties are like not lit, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I didn't. Did you know any of those guys that ran it, or did you meet any of those guys? I never met any of those guys.
Maybe we used to
Yeah.
go a lot, dude. I used to go to the guys with the guys from Cavina. We used to go all the fucking time. But then I started noticing like I don't like this shit. They're starting to like pat down people and it'd be all sketchy when you like
Yeah.
go and it's like that's not what it wasn't like that. And it's like if you're having parties like that, that means that it's getting sketchier. So it's like I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. There were a couple parties where they were like patting us down. It's like I didn't sign up for this. I just wanted to have a good time. And I kind of
Well,
understand. Yeah.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I understood like the cover charge a little bit, because they have to make money from the alcohol that they're providing and stuff like that. I got it. I understood that. But then it was like, you know, like you said, man, if you're going to parties like that they're not chill anymore. You know what I mean? I was like more like stressed that something was gonna pop off rather than having a good time.
That's crazy.
Dude.
All those parties we went to, and I don't get, not me specifically getting shot at, but I'm in the vicinity of somebody trying to get shot at a bar in Covina, like just this last year. What a joke.
That's what I'm saying. Like you don't want to get involved with that. You're just going there for a couple of beers, and all of a sudden, somebody brings out steel and then starts shooting. That's crazy, bro. That's sketch.
That night was sketchy though.
I can imagine, man. What ended up happening, man?
I don't know. These guys fucking weirdo fucking people like waiting till I guess they had a problem with each other and they waited until they pretty much waited until the end of the fucking night to bang on each other or whatever. And I
Yeah,
was like, what the hell? So then they start fighting at the end of the night when everybody's closing up shop. And then like me and my buddy, it's like they have against the wall, they have like those leather couches, but like they're tables, but it goes like along the wall, It's like you know what I'm talking about? Seating section and like
yeah,
just like a small area. So like it starts coming my way, and I stand up on the couch and I fucking push that fool back because they were like fighting coming towards me. So I pushed that fool back into like get the fuck off of me, dude. You're not gonna fight on me. So like I
yeah,
push that fool and I have a drink in my hand and I'm standing up on the couch and I'm just waiting because I was gonna do something if it started coming my way and they started getting crazy. So I was like, I just chilled. My buddy was next to me, the one with the soccer clothing company. He was
yeah,
next to me and it split us apart. And that fool's like, "Hey, fool, grab my phone." So I grabbed his phone and I threw it to him. And then after they stopped fighting, like seriously, within like 30 seconds, you just hear pop, 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 pop. And I'm like,
yeah,
"Oh, these fools are shooting, dude." So I was like, "Don't." He's like, "Hey, let's go out the back. The exit's right here." And I'm like, "Hell
yeah,
no! They're gonna shoot that way because they're
yeah.
trying to hit somebody over there." So I told him,
Right.
"Stay over here in the corner," which we did. And then that was that. And I guess somebody did get shot and all that shit.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, did the cops
It was
come or
like
anything?
I don't know. I didn't wait for that shit. It was
For
like a
sure.
movie, dude. It was like it was weird, dude. It was like a movie, dude. Everything slowed down. I'm good with that kind of shit, like, cause it's like like when you get in a fight, or like my girl dog has been in a fight multiple times. So every
Yeah.
time I get more and more, like, what's the word? Calm and relaxed in the situation. So I know what to do. And I've always been pretty good with stuff like that. But it
Yeah.
was the same for this. It was like everything was slowing down. I was just assessing the situation, like what I should do.
Yeah, that's always the best. I mean, if you can control your breathing and you're like assessing the situation, then you'll usually make it out all right in those types of situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's usually the people that panic that usually get hit or get injured or killed, even.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to be all frantic because, like, if I'm going to get shot in the first place, I'm going to get shot. What is me acting like a fool and getting my heart rate up and getting all crazy? What is that going to do? That's going to do nothing, dude. And if you listen to a lot of these stories, a lot of these guys that get shot and make it out, uh, they slow their heart rate down and they're on alcohol. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was watching this video where the guy, I don't know, maybe you've seen it. There was a guy, he was sitting at a bar by himself, I think, and it was about around closing time. And it was him sitting at the bar alone, and there was a guy, the bartender, and then a guy came in with a shotgun and wanted to rob the bar, right? And the guy was just
Mhm.
sitting there, like, I don't know, drinking a whiskey sour or some shit, right? And he was just drinking, and the guy was yelling and waving the gun around, and the guy was he acted as if the guy was just like it was a regular Thursday night or something, you know what I mean? He didn't react, he didn't say anything, he didn't, he just sat there and kept drinking, right? And eventually what happened was he bought enough time where like the cops came and arrested the dude. because he was so calm, just sat there, just kept drinking, just acted like nothing was happening, and he survived, dude.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. And the bartender left because or whatever. Because I mean, if he's the bartender, yeah, sure, that's his business. He's just gonna give him some cash and it just stayed. But the guy was like pointing a gun at him and all this, and the guy was just you could see it on the video, like on the security cam, where he's just kind of you could tell that they're talking. You know, I don't know what they're saying, but he was just cool, just like chilling. It was like, damn, dude, lucky.
I'd probably fucking do something, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Unless it wasn't like unless it had nothing to do with me, but like if that fool like pointed the gun at me or something or some weird shit like that. Oh, dude, it'd be like a whole nother story, dude.
yeah, dude. It'd be the situation would change, you know, but then does so then see then here's a question, right? Does it looks like the guy just wanted to rob the money. He wasn't really there to kill anybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think that those people go with the intention of robbing, not killing. And if they do kill somebody, it's like secondary. You know what I mean?
It's just crazy though, because then you get some of those people that aren't down for that. They're down to kill somebody. So then it's like you don't need. This one might just shoot you, and you know what I'm saying? Like you're not even ready for it or whatever. I don't know. That
Right.
sucks, dude.
That
People
that
like
that
that, you
sucks.
know.
Yeah, because if
Oh, you want
somebody,
to?
yeah,
I got a crazy story for you, dude. This
dude,
guy's
let's
name
go.
was it was like 1980, and this guy was named Michael Tang or Michael TNG something, but he
Yeah,
lived up in the Sierras close to Mammoth. And
yeah.
this fool would kill people, and when the people from the family would come to look for them, he'd kill them too. Crazy shit, dude. It was in like the 80s.
Dude.
He was almost like a hitman. He had like a silencer and a fucking gun. So think about
Yeah.
that. Think of it. That's the scariest part. It's not it's not that someone will shoot you. It's the fact that someone will shoot you without you even knowing, or try to
Yeah.
kill you without yeah, just going to check on your family members, and then all of a sudden, fucking this fool's gonna shoot you because like what because of what he did, and you might find out. Well, you have no idea. You're just going to check, and then this
Yeah.
will blast you away. That's crazy, dude.
That's crazy. That's some psychopathic shit, bro. Like
Yeah, the fool's a psycho.
that and a sociopath because you know he doesn't care. He doesn't have any remorse. He's just killing people. Like that's exactly that's the scary part when their intent is that, you know, and you're not even involved. You probably don't even care. Like, you know, you're just worried like, hey, my family member is lost or something, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you just get killed. Like there's no way you could plan for that.
Well, actually, now that I think about that, though, I'd go strapped, and then I would like it's a whole other scenario, dude. You don't hear
Yeah.
from somebody, something's weird is going on. I'm not gonna just pull up with my water gun.
Can you imagine? Like, hey, step back, man. I'm gonna spray you with this shit.
That felt like, get the fuck
That's
out of
what
here.
yeah.
Well, nice
Dude,
try. Pow
nice
pow.
try. Pow pow.
Just saying.
Dude, but that's where the situation gets scary because you don't know what's gonna happen, you know?
That's why I don't trust people, dude. I don't care how nice somebody is. I'm always. That's why I did so well in Europe, dude. When I went to different countries, because my buddy told me he was like, "Hey, bro, I'm not gonna lie." He's like, "I don't think I'd want to fuck with you if I was walking down the street." And I was like, "Why?" And he was like,
Yeah.
"Just because you have like that serious face, like you're not fucking around." And I told him,
Yeah.
"Yeah, fool, because I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking around if I'm walking down a fucking alley or a street that I don't know and I've never been to that country. Maybe I've been there for a little bit. I'm not fucking around, dude. I'm ready for the get down, dude, if I need be. Straight up. I'm always on point with some shit like that. Fuck that.
Well, that's what my question is, right? That's what we had this conversation a little bit before. It goes back to my kind of my point is why would you think that it would be okay if you're in Europe or something to a country you've never been, probably a language you don't speak, right? You don't know where you are, you're just walking, and then you end up in an alley. Well, why would you think that you would be more safe, or why would you let your guard down in a place like that when you wouldn't even do that back in a place that you're familiar with, back in the States? Do you know what I mean? Like if you know what I mean? Because that same dude would have been like, dude, I would never have done this in the in the US going down an alley. Well, why would you think that it'd be okay like in somewhere else? You know what I mean? I don't understand that mentality sometimes, you know.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you like the things that you would think that the things that you don't do at home and people do it in countries that they're not even remotely familiar with. It's wild to me.
Dude, I'm telling you, I was ready for the get down all the time over there. I'm not lying. I was ready,
Yeah,
dude.
dude, I remember that,
I was
dude.
what?
Like when we almost got in that fight with that like reception guy.
Fuck that guy. That guy's an idiot.
That guy is an idiot, but I I learned to calm down in that kind of stuff because you know I'm older now, but I used to be
Well,
like
I mean,
that too.
I didn't get that crazy though. I just told that fool, "Fuck you, dude. I'm not paying for shit, and I shouldn't have to pay for nothing when she's inviting me up to her place." Like,
Could
what are
you
you talking about?
imagine? Could you imagine though, dude? That guy wanted to charge you to use the lift. Who ever heard of that, bro?
He was just hating. That fool was just mad at his life. And then he came up and tried to give us a deal after. It's like, fuck you, dude. Get out of here.
I know
Yeah, fuck,
he came out for a
yeah, fuck
cig and
you,
he's like,
bro.
"Hey guys."
That's why I'm, hey man, fuck you, dude. Why you trying to rip us off? You know,
Dude, and then he was like, "Oh,
not
sorry, I
paying you
get you a deal."
shit.
Yeah. Well, why didn't you just give us the deal in the first place, or just like looked away and didn't say anything? You know?
Well, that just shows you he's a piece of garbage because he was already trying to charge you for something that he can't. Then he comes out to smoke a cigarette and try to work a deal with us. It's like, dude, fuck you, fool. You already ruined it. So I'm not going to give you nothing, and I wouldn't give you anything in the first place. So
Yeah,
fuck
I
that
know. I
guy.
mean, he should have thought about that in the early. I mean, come on, bro. He knew what time it was, man. It was like what 12 o'clock. About
He was hating. he was 100%. Even if we didn't do anything or have
yeah,
relations, we didn't do anything. We still would have had a good time just hanging out with him. And he didn't
yeah.
even. He wasn't. He didn't. Man, he had no position to tell us like that we could go up there or not. What the fuck?
No, nah, for sure not. He wasn't the security or anything, man, or the owner of the hotel. He's just the night receptionist, which that's okay. He's a night receptionist, but dude, like, I think he was just jealous that we were going upstairs with some girls, and he didn't have that chance. He had to be stuck behind the check-in counter.
Who cares though? What are you hating on us for? That's you don't
Yeah,
do that.
dude. Yeah, that
The,
you can't
the
do
the other
that.
thing is though, those girls didn't stick up for us though, or that girl didn't stick up for me for when I was trying to go in the elevator or whatever. She wasn't like, yeah, come on, no, hey, let him come. You know, she was just like, oh, whatever. That's when I was
Yeah,
like, oh, this girl's weird.
yeah. I got that same vibe. I was like, all right, man. She didn't even say anything. She didn't even hold the door open. She just was like,
No,
closed the
yeah,
door and went and left. Like, okay.
it's like what the heck?
So that's when I felt like, oh, she just used us for the taxi ride. So I was like, oh man.
Nah, she was just a tease because that's
Yeah.
the one I went and visited like a month later,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and she
But
tried to like kidnap me or something. I'm not playing,
yeah.
dude. That shit was crazy, dude.
Dude. Well, that
You weren't
night
gonna
was crazy.
you weren't gonna kidnap me though. I'm telling you right now, dude. I was about to cause hell.
Dude, yeah, you don't want to get caught. You don't want to get kidnapped in Amsterdam, bro.
No, I'm just saying, like I would have knocked some teeth out, dude. Leaving that place if that was gonna be the case, and none of those people would have stopped me. I know that for a fact. I assessed the situation the whole time when I got there, and I was like, man, I could easily like fight my way out of here. But why would
Yeah.
I do that? Why would you do that when you don't have to? That's what
Right.
I came to. So I
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't have to.
Yeah, that those are those types of situations where it's like you have to use your head a little bit to get out of those situations more than getting physical because then it's like it's not worth it in one sense. You know, you could do it, right? But it's like not important.
Only if they're trying to like keep me there, like physically. If they're trying to keep me there,
Yeah,
I'm
well,
I'm I'm gonna tell you the truth, dude. There was a time that I was sitting in the living room and more people were coming, and I'm smoking this joint, and somebody starts talking to me like inside me, telling me like, "Hey, you need to get the fuck out of here. This shit's kind of weird." And then
yeah,
so I started asking questions and doing all that, and I didn't get paranoid. I just got like, "Oh shit, something is wrong," you know. And like I've never had, I don't think I've ever had that feeling except for one other time to where it was that strong. Tell me that you need to leave and you need to get the fuck out of here and all that shit. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, dude, when I did, it was weird, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I know those situations where you're just like you're not scared. It's not a scaring thing. It's like you're more like this is weird, and things could go like in the direction that you weren't expecting. That's the thing. You know what I mean?
I
Like
don't know if I,
really
yeah,
quickly.
I think I rarely get scared, but it was more of like it made you like somewhat nervous, like
Yeah.
what's going on here, like what's the deal, something's off, these people aren't making sense, shit like that.
Right. Well, because you're going there for a party and a good times, just chill out, and then you're not expecting it to get weird really quickly. You know what I mean? So you're not scared, and you're not nervous. You're just heightened about the situation. You know what I mean? You get more
Dude,
defensive, and
I wasn't even supposed to be partying with anybody else. It was supposed to be me and her kicking it. So how did it turn into like a full on party? Like what
yeah,
the hell? This is weird, dude.
yeah, it's weird, and especially because you don't, that's the thing, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's the thing. It's not scary, but that's the thing when you're in a country where uh you don't speak the language, because she was probably speaking Dutch and she was probably inviting some friends and you had no idea that that was happening. You know what I mean?
No, she told me it was just gonna be me and her, and she cooked fucking food for me. And then all
Yeah.
of a sudden, we're picking up people at the train station and doing all that. And it's like, what the
What do
hell
you
is
think
going
about
on?
this island camp?
That's sketchy that you were picking up people from the train station.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you, dude. That's what I was like, what the
Dude.
fuck is this garbage?
Yeah, that's weird, bro. That would have been like a red flag. I would have bounced probably after that.
But then that girl was hot, so it's like, would you have though?
Bounced? Yeah, as soon as I had to start picking up people from the train station, I'm out, bro. For 100%. That's me though. Because that's a
I
lot
don't,
of
you say that, but I don't know if you would have though, because I'm saying like the way that they set it up, it was like, oh, okay, maybe like I'm not going to be hating. Maybe it's just going to
yeah,
turn into like a little party, you know what I'm saying? And then they
right.
take me to the weed clinic and they've never been there before. I go in with some other fool that's never even been in there. I'm like, dude, you guys live here. This is weird. And then that's when
But
I go back and shit starts to get like a little weird. And maybe it wasn't. Maybe I was thinking. Maybe I was thinking too far ahead. I don't think so though. There was something weird going on, and especially when I met that guy that met her the same way as me, that had just shown up later in the night, and that's why I was like, I'm out, dude. Fuck this.
yeah,
That's when I was like, I'm out.
yeah. Well, like, see, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like, you're right. I don't know how I would have reacted in that situation. But I know if we're going to shops that are by their house that they've never been to before, that's kind of weird, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Trust me, man. I started putting all that shit together. The guy that I
yeah,
went with, that guy, I swear to God, that fool was like a serial killer or something, dude. That guy was weird. He was just so awkward as far as like being a normal person. It was kind of weird, dude. It was kind of like sketchy.
did he dress like a normal person?
He did, but he wore
Yeah,
glasses. But it
yeah,
wasn't that. It's a way he conversed. He was
yeah,
very fucking quiet and very
yeah.
like he had something to hide all the time or something. I didn't even know this fool, and I just got that off him. And he's the one that went in with. That's how crazy I am, dude. I didn't give a fuck. He went in with me to the clinic though, and I
Yeah.
was like, whatever, dude. Like, and then when we got back, he just awkward. You see those movies, dude. It's just awkward conversation with somebody that's like that. They're awkward. They're awkward with people in life, all that. It's weird.
Yeah, it's hard to converse with people like that,
Yeah, no, I swear to God, it really is.
because it's not that they're shy, but it's hard to really hold a conversation with those types of people.
It's probably because they don't want you to read them. Because if you read
Right.
them and know how they are, then you're gonna be like, oh, this shit's a fucking weirdo, or he's like a psycho or something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And he probably doesn't want to, he could or could not, he doesn't have to be that, you know what I mean? But he probably doesn't want you to like make any conclusions about him or her, whoever that person is.
I wasn't, dude. I'm not trying to judge somebody like that, but it's like, dude, when something's off like that and they make you feel uncomfortable,
Yeah.
something's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you don't know what kind of stuff's happening, you know what I mean? Like, and things can get really weird really quickly, man. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. So That's what's. Uh, I think what when Drew gets back.
I'm here. Sorry.
What's up, man? So no, I was just saying, man, like these types of people, like probably friendly, but you just never know, right?
I don't know. I'm
And
just
it,
telling you, you have some weird. I don't know, man. I'm just telling you, dude. Something's weird about that guy. I have really, really good. What's the word? I got really good fucking.
like sense of people, how you can read the room.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to just be like that, and I'm not trying to
Yeah,
always go off that. I'm just saying, like, a lot of the time, I'm pretty right, dude. And it was the same thing with soccer, kind of.
well, what do you mean?
Like I'd be like, I should stay here. I'd have this feeling like I should stay here, and then my emotions would take over, and then I'd bounce
Yeah,
when I was just gonna have the opportunity to play with the first team or something. Something
yeah,
like I played with that semi-pro team before I went to Czech Republic, and dude, that the manager. And I'm not trying to talk about soccer. I'm just saying this is like a perfect
yeah,
example, and I'll leave it at that. But the manager was a scout for the LA Galaxy, and FC Hasenthal was a good club at that time. And I went out to one practice and fit right in. It was like one touch, two touch. They played very well. They moved the ball like kind of like Barca and shit like that. I fit in, dude. And the guy he wanted me to stay, and I took off to Czech Republic. And that happened with the LA Wolves. I took off to Germany, and that fool wanted to make me a forward, and I just didn't stay. Same with PSA Elite. The one game I don't go to, the fucking first team guy comes out to watch me, and I'm
yeah.
not there. So that fool fucking was not like just it wasn't meant for me, and that's fine. But I'm just saying, just it's just a downer when that shit happens. That's all. Sometimes when you work so hard to get there, and some dumb shit like that happens.
Yeah, I know. There's these like moments in life where it like kind of throws you off, like off your trajectory a little bit, man. I know what you
You
mean.
just gotta be ready 24/7, no matter what it is, whether it's related to soccer or anything else. It's like if you've been working so hard for that moment, you got to be ready for that moment, and it doesn't matter what comes with it. You gotta be ready, dude, and you got to do it. And if you don't, then you work so hard for all that for it to become nothing, or what, to work again to try to get to that point. Like it doesn't make sense, dude. It's like you should be ready and then willing to do whatever.
Because you'll be in that endless cycle. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Why are you working so hard to get to that point, and then you're going to give it up like that? No, that don't make no sense.
That doesn't make any sense. Because then you put all your time and effort into it, and then you don't get any result from it.
I know.
But anyway, man. So we were talking. I wanted to get into kind of the kind of the conversation that I wanted to finish, or at least open it from last Wednesday. Was we talked a bit about Bill Cooper,
Hmm.
and I wanted to ask. I know we shifting topics here, but I wanted to ask. Like I asked you a little bit, but I wanted to get more your opinions on it. Is before we get into Bill Cooper, anyway, what was like a point or an event in your life where or something happened to you or something you read before you got into Bill Cooper where you said to yourself and you really thought about it and you're like, wow, life is completely different from what I've been experiencing, or this is actually what life is, and I want to research this more. Like, what was something that really like caught like your moment of awakening, I guess you would say, or a light bulb went off? What was your moment?
The biggest was when I started researching and listening to all these videos and the hour of the time and all that stuff, and
Yeah,
that was
but was
probably the
there
turning.
but was there something in real life that like you're like, oh shit, like this is different?
I just always knew shit didn't add up.
Yeah,
It didn't make sense. But 99.9% of people don't question stuff. They just
yeah,
go with it. That's how it is. But that's not
right,
how it is. That's how it is now. That's not how it
yeah,
was before or back then. It's like we've come. It just sucks, dude. We've come to like where we're at because a lot of people are ignorant and don't know a lot of things. Really, that's what it is.
Yeah, I was watching a video, and then I'll shift back. But I was watching a video about this podcast about women and men, the differences between women and men, right? And one of the ladies, and I was thinking about it. I was like, it wasn't the lady wasn't dumb. Yeah, she was asking questions, and then but I couldn't believe that she wasn't aware of this, or like it didn't add up. But then I'll give you an example. So the moderator was a woman, and she was telling her about why the population is actually declining and not overpopulating, right? And she's like, why? And the lady that was kind of having a podcast with her, and the lady was like, well, because with the invention of birth control and IUDs and all this, women can have a lot of sex all the time without getting pregnant. So can you imagine, right? If you're a woman and you're having sex without getting pregnant from the age of let's say 18 to 29 and you haven't gotten pregnant, well, in that time span, you could have on average most women have, I think, two kids. So, the population is declining. You didn't have kids in that time. So then she was like, wow, that was a real eye opener. I didn't think about it like that. Yeah, you didn't think about it like that because you are in a position where you don't really have to think about it like that. So my point is, if you didn't think about that, like if you're having sex and not getting pregnant, then you're not having kids, right? That's like simple logic. So if you didn't understand that simple logic, how can a person like her not she wouldn't that she would be so triggered by any other things like in life, you know what I mean? And she was older than me. I don't understand that, you know what I mean?
No, I agree, man.
This is like some of this stuff that you see is simple logic that you look around you and you're like, wow, that doesn't really add up, you know what I mean? Like I've always had that too. And my biggest thing was when I was like 9 years old. I remember this, and we were driving with my mom. I looked up at the moon and I said, "How come we don't go on?" And it's gonna sound silly. Watch, you're gonna laugh. And I asked my mom. I said, "How come we don't take like summer vacations to the moon? How come we don't stay on hotels like on the moon or amusement parks?" And she didn't know how to answer. And again, it's not that it has nothing to do with her being smart or not smart. She just never questioned it like that. And she was like, wow, I didn't think about it like that. And she didn't know how to answer it. And I was like, whoa, then something's not right. I mean, you know what I mean? If we were, because, at that time, Apollo 13 came out, right? And I was so into it. And I'm 9 years old. I'm looking at it. I was like, you know what? That'd be sick as fuck to go up there, man, like on a holiday. And then supposedly we landed in 1969, 70, 71, or whatever the fuck. I mean, in 50 years, 50 years, we should already be living on the moon. You know what I mean? And
Well, you want to hear a perfect example of all of that?
yeah,
So the courts for the lower court and the Supreme Court, you don't have to have a license to drive a vehicle, and a specific vehicle like a car.
yeah,
Not like if you work for somebody and you transport stuff, you have to have a license. So
sure.
I call the police department up here yesterday and San Bernardino. Oh, I gotta call them when we get off. I called and I'll ask them like, hey, where do you stand on this? Because the law says and the courts say that you have the right to drive without a license. Oh no, if we don't arrest you, we're gonna impound your car. And it's like, why would you do that? The higher up said that you don't need to do that, and you're over here trying to enforce that shit. Like, why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
And it's like, oh, well, that's a law for the state. It's like, have you? And I asked the sergeant, have you read the state constitution? He said no. And so, well, how would you know even what the law is then, if you're just going off what you're told? And we ended on a good note, but he didn't agree with me. But it's like that's how stupid people are, dude. That's not the law, bro. And they don't even read the state constitution. That's why people, when the COVID stuff hit, that's why you could get a medical or religious exemption because it's in the state constitution. And every state has a different constitution and gives you different rights. But then above that is the law of the land, which is the actual constitution, which gives you the right to drive. You have the right to, dude. We paid for the roads. We paid for the public roads. How are you gonna have some fucking retard pull you over and tell you that you can't do this and that? hey, bitch, I paid for the road, dude, and you're gonna tell me that I can't travel freely on it? No, you're tripping, dude. That doesn't
That's
make any
like,
sense.
and that's also, our money goes to paying for the police officers too. We pay for that too.
It doesn't even say protect and serve anymore. It just says to serve or some shit like that. It doesn't even say protect and serve anymore. They
So
took
they,
that off the vehicles. It's
so
crazy.
it's not to protect us anymore. It's to harm us, basically.
Just to serve fucking, I guess, whatever they're told, I guess, right?
I guess. I mean, I thought it meant what I thought was protect and serve was to protect the community and to serve the community, because taxpayers' money went into their services. You're paying their salary.
It no, you're right, dude. And that's what I'm saying. And they're fucking people up that are paying their salary and they don't even understand that. That's how
Right.
stupid they are.
Well, that's the same thing. That's the same kind of uh, uh, example with colleges, especially public colleges like the Cal State system. All of those people who work there are funded by the state and people who put money into the state. That's taxpayers' money going into, you're paying professors money, and you're paying a whole exorbitant amount of money for some guy to tell you, some political theory or whatever their ideology on you. And and I'm like, dude, I'm here for economics 101. I'm not here to like learn about your personal ideology and all this, and I'm paying 10 grand a month for this. Like, it's not worth it, bro. I'm not down with that. You know,
Fuck no.
I can, from what that fool told me, or lady, whatever the professors told me, I learned more from reading my books and YouTube videos, to be honest.
Well, because those people tell the truth. They don't have an agenda and they're not getting paid to push some bullshit. That's what it's like. It doesn't make sense. And I've always said that. And that's why I always hated school. Why do I gotta go to learn what you're teaching me? And then I get a degree for that when it doesn't even help anybody. It might help somebody a little bit, but you're not like curing somebody. Like when I did physical therapy, they're not doing physical therapy so you never come back. They're doing physical therapy so you depend on them to keep coming back. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I
That,
get
that
that.
that's garbage, dude. That's business, and like you're gonna have enough people no matter what if you do a good enough job. But to keep people coming back and not have them push themselves and get to the point to where they don't need you, that's bullshit, dude. That's the problem of like where we're at for what we're at as far as people in America and the way that they think and all that. Because nobody wants to do anything for themselves and they want to depend on everybody else to tell you what to do, but then those people don't even know the truth, so it's like it ends up fucking you over, to be honest.
Right. So the physical therapist is like treating you just enough to make you feel good, but not well enough that you don't have to go
Right.
back to their service.
Well, like me, when I used to go to physical therapy when I was younger or whatever, before I started personal training, doing my own thing, I would always remember what they did, and I'm like, I'll just do it myself. I don't need to go. The appointment and making you go, you're gonna do it because you have to. But it's
Right.
like if you have enough drive, you could do it on your own. You can do it whenever you want, and you just do it on your time schedule, and it's more of a benefit than having to fucking stress out and go to an appointment that, like I said, that they're only going to help you so much because you can push yourself on your own. People are just
Yeah.
scared, bro. It's what it is. They are.
Yeah. People are scared. And I also think that uh, people, it's like people don't want to expand outwards in a way. I don't know how to explain it.
Why?
people
Why do you
are
depend? Why do people depend on somebody to tell them what to do or what the answer is? Why don't you? You can talk to people, and then if someone's smart, get a basis off them. But come to your own conclusion, dude. Maybe you'll come to the same conclusion as that person, but maybe you'll come to a different one because maybe you're a little bit smarter and think outside the box more than they do. But why are you going to always listen to somebody that most of the time doesn't have the answer?
Well, that's my opinion about church, because I know this is kind of controversial about church, but I don't care. Uh, is Why do I have to go to a church and have a pastor tell me about God when I can easily find out about God by myself? I have a Bible at home. I can read the Bible and then I can make
That's
my own decisions about what God means for me.
That's what I always said, dude. My mom would get mad at me, but I'm like, I don't need to go listen to some guy tell me his point of view. I'll come up with my own point of view.
Right.
That's like that's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to listen to people. What the fuck?
But
That doesn't make any sense.
well, you can listen to people, but then like you have to come to your own
No, but I'm saying
conclusions.
that's the answer though. Like I'm going to church and this dude's telling me a story about what happened to him, and then I'm supposed to like base my thoughts and my beliefs off the story that he told and what he told me. No, that's stupid as fuck. That does I would never do that.
Right.
Never.
That was like the podcast I was watching, the same podcast, right? There was two girls on the podcast, and she was like, the one girl was like, dude, I used to hate men, and I used to be a feminist and all this. And then the girl next to her said, this is my best friend, and I believed that I hated men too. And then he asked the moderator asked, well, why did you hate men? And her response was, I hated men because my friend
My
hated
friend,
men.
yeah, I remember watching that, or you sent that to me or something. I remember that.
Yeah. You remember that, right? And I said, well, then she woke up and said, well, that wasn't really my opinion. It was her opinion. I said, yeah. I mean, how come you didn't have your own opinion to begin with? You know what I mean? You can't just,
Yeah.
like if you hate something, great. Yeah, fine. Hate something. But then you have to know why you're hating it. She just hated it because her friend hated it. That's crazy. That that's difficult, and that's a lot of people like that.
Well, no, why? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like when I was younger, I used to follow a lot of my friends more than make my own decisions, and I would have been so much. And it doesn't matter. I'm not regretting it. I just would have been farther off and more beneficial for myself, not hanging out with those people, and they only cared about their agenda. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then you
That's
fall
like,
into that because
yeah.
you think that if you think about it, because you're like, oh, they're cool or whatever, they're doing this, and like, yeah, I want to do that too, but then you start to lose your identity a little bit.
No, you're right, dude. And that's what was happening. And that's why if it wasn't for soccer and then having time by myself and then being able to go and figure things out, and you have to go through it, dude. You got to go through hard times. You got to have nothing. You got to have nobody there, and then you really get to see what matters the most, and then who's there at that time. That's
Yeah.
the most important thing, dude. That's more important than all this other garbage. You know what I mean?
So
Straight up.
what was the moment that you said like, hey, I want to make my own independent decisions? Like, I was there like a moment, or you were just like,
You
fuck
know
it?
what? It was probably Germany, dude. It was
Yeah,
probably I don't think I ever said anything about this. It was probably Germany, man. It was probably
yeah,
right after Germany. It was probably because I would always ask my parents what they thought, but why would I do that when they never played soccer at that level, never even been close to like anything like that? And I'm
yeah,
asking their opinion. They're going to give you the mom and dad opinion or the opinion
sure.
of a bystander or someone in the stands. They're not going to give me an opinion of like I've kind of already been there. Like no, you need to stick it out and give it like 1 year, and then after that, you want to come home, you want to do whatever. That's fine, but play like one full season or 2 seasons, see what happens, see where you go. No, none of that, dude. It was just they made it always too easy for me to come home or whatever, and it's like, dude, if you would have struggled in some of those times, like who knows where you would be realistically. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, man.
I'm not. I don't care. I'm just saying that's what I would do for my son or my daughter if they want to play and or they
Yeah,
get the opportunity like that. You know what I mean?
yeah, I know what you mean, man. Well, I think this is a good I think this is a good time to wrap it up for today, man.
Sounds good.
Wrap up this podcast, man. It was good. It's always a pleasure talking to you, man. I like these. These are pretty solid, you know. So yeah, man. When is the next time we could do another podcast?
Uh, what is tomorrow's Tuesday? Maybe like Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, that sounds good. We could do a end of the week podcast, man.
I would say tomorrow. Tomorrow's fine too, but that's on you.
I would think no, tomorrow I can't. Thursday would probably be better.
So let's do Thursday.
All right, man. Sounds good. So thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully everybody who's listening. Thank you, Drew. It's always a pleasure to have you on the podcast. I'm looking forward to having you on the next one. Any last thoughts on this podcast? On this?
No, I just I hope people listen and they appreciate our point of view and then take into consideration of like what we've been through and how we feel, and we care more about people than we do about the game and stuff like that. You know, so it's like I just hope people learn something and then benefit from it. That's all.
For sure, man. Yeah, exactly. Well said, man. All right, man. So enjoy the rest of the day and catch you on the next one, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Peace.
Later.